We are live. Thanks everybody for joining us on Reviewers Table. We got the amazing Mr. Dan C. Bearded. We have Mr. Joe with Bearded Life. We have Mr. Scott with Bearded Zebra and Chad with MechBeard. Thanks for coming on in, guys. I appreciate it.
Guys? How you doing?
I feel like we're all in over our levels right now. Dan's here, and it's like it's almost intimidating.
It's all good. It's all good.
So I think we're just going to jump on into it, guys. So Dan's with us for about 15 minutes. He's going to start his own stream up because him and Steve, the mayor, are going to be doing I think that's his name, right? On his profile, Mayor's Bearded Journey.
His government name.
Yeah, his government name.
His government. You're giving out all of his information. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know. So Mr. Mayor is going to be in. They're going to do a stream at 9:30. I definitely check them out as well. But we want to get kind of down to what everybody's feeling right now. This is kind of a crazy time for everybody. And I think that I know Dan has probably done a ton of research on this. So I wanted to pick his brain, see where he's at with it. This is something that's very important to the community. There's a lot of people that may be out of a job for a little bit, looking for some money. There's a lot of things that are at place. So I would love to hear why we got him for a few minutes. Let's hear anybody's perspective, but I'd love to hear, Dan, your perspective on what you've been experiencing. I know schools have been laid off for your area as well as a whole lot of areas in the country. Would love to pick your brain, see what you're thinking.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I know Andy and I have been talking about doing this for a while, and hopefully it's just the first of many more to come. My life's just kind of crazy, so I was glad it was able to work out. And yeah, this has definitely been a topic for a while now. It's been on my mind. It's been on everybody's mind. And you bring up the jobs, and that's a big one. As a teacher, I should be okay. We're going to e-learning for a couple of weeks and going online and teaching our students that way. But my mother-in-law, Sam's mom, she comes in the chat all the time. If you're in Mondays, Gigi, she is a custodian at Maddox's school, like one of our schools in the school district. And she's an hourly paid worker. Grossly underpaid at minimum wage, but if they don't work, they're not being paid. So it's definitely something we want to get up and going and not mess around with for too long, but we know we want to flatten the curve and be safe. And I've been researching this and looking into this for a long time now, even when we all saw the CDC old chart that came out about the facial mask and respirators. And I was going to make a video to cover that, but Tyson dropped one and he said everything that I would have. He covered it super well. So there was no reason for me to be redundant and say, yeah, what he said, so he killed it on that one. And then kind of with the state of emergency and all the new news, I was hearing from a lot of guys in different professions, and they're telling me to shave my beard. My mom's telling me to shave my beard. Doctors telling me all this different information. And so I just wanted to kind of get all the best information I could, but put it in an easy deliverable video for everybody to chew on and just kind of think about just some easy things that can help, and that it's just crazy to say shave your beard because of this when it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
And that's crazy. That's crazy. Scott, what do you have to say?
I was just saying, I agree that it's crazy.
Yeah. I think that the thing that has been the weirdest is I actually went out into the melee today.
Oh.
Yeah. And because we
PP
were
Friday.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I live in the Southwest, and we make a lot of burritos here, and all of the beans are gone.
Wow.
All of the beans.
Wow.
It's like all of the pasta, beans, definitely all the cleaning supplies. I went to Walgreens and got some paper towels, but there was nothing else. I mean, it was gone through.
You got to go off the beaten path, get away from Walmart, get away from your big grocery stores. We have, I don't know if you guys have it, but we have like Big Lots out here. Do you guys got Big Lots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Big Lots was like loaded up, and we're like, oh, score. And so you just got to kind of find the right place. And hopefully it bounces back. I talked to a restaurant owner that I know, and he said the big thing he's worrying about is people around here cannot get bleach. And if you don't have enough bleach for cleaning your restaurant, they can't stay open. So they're not worried about the sickness, the virus. They're just worried about getting enough supplies to remain open. So like you talked about jobs, it affects so many that we don't even think of or consider.
Right. And I think that's the reason why you see the market drop is because of that same thought. There's some scare factors. Now, here's my question for you, Dan, and anybody else in the room. How serious do you think this is? Do you think that I've heard a lot of people say one way or another. My dad personally, who is a science teacher, is extremely cautious and very worried about this. And then I have people like my wife and others who are saying that we're making a bigger deal than we should be.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in the middle. The mayor is a science teacher, so he's been really worried about this, actually stressing him and impacting his life. My sister graduated from U of M Medical School and works at Northwestern Hospital in Chicago, and she sees on the front lines how serious it is. So she's been talking about it, and it's been really interesting the last couple of days. And I think what people got to understand is the measures that are being taken right now is, like I kind of mentioned earlier, it's to flatten the curve. Essentially, we don't want to have everybody rush to the hospital within a 5-day range, that we want to slow the spread. The total numbers may be exactly the same, but it's how it gets distributed over several days. So for me, I'm not very worried about this being some apocalypse or wiping out a country or anything about that. I'm more so worried about the jobs, the stock market, the impact that it's going to have socially. And I think there's going to be a paradigm shift in our country, some good, but some bad.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead, Joe.
Okay. Well, it's funny that you said about flattening the curve and stuff. They actually today, in some of the information they released, they were talking about predicted numbers and how bad they thought this was going to be for the U.S. and stuff. But they said none of those projections took into account the measures that are being taken now,
right,
to kind of slow things down a little bit. And they don't know what kind of effect that'll really have as far as actually stopping the numbers. But if it slows it down a little bit, then that does help us quite a bit, because you don't have thousands of people overcrowding hospitals and buildings and not getting the help they need because they simply can't get to everybody at the same time.
Right. And we don't have any idea what the mortality rate is, right? The Spanish flu of 1918 had a 10% mortality rate. We just don't know how many people are affected right now. Some states like West Virginia have less than 10 kits available for testing, total. So we don't know how many people have it and how many people are dying from it, or how many people have it and then chalked it up as a cold or another sickness. So all that is still so early to be able to tell anything.
Yeah, it's funny because West Virginia is one of the 2 states that they said so far that haven't had a actual case of it yet. But have they not had it, or do they just not have the means
and that's
to actually diagnose it?
Right. Yeah, they have only a super low number of pending kits out right now. So that's interesting. And one thing that was interesting with me, it kind of came for real, is Thursday we were in school. So the Utah Jazz were at Detroit on Saturday, and we know Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell have it. Well, one of the 6th graders in my school said to his teacher, "Hey, I met Rudy Gobert. I got a hat from him. I shook his hand. I have his autograph." And the teacher was kind of like, yeah, you're just a 6th grader talking, but sent him to the office. They called the dad, and the dad goes, yeah, his hat is sitting on our kitchen table right now. He said he met him. So that was serious. And then my student in my 5th hour, his dad is the DJ for the Pistons. And then I heard the Pistons got quarantined, and I actually know his dad. And I text him. I'm like, "Hey man, did you get quarantined?" He said, "No, but my DJ stand goes right up to the visitors' bench. The back of their bench is the front of my DJ stand."
Wow.
So it hit a little close to home there.
For sure. So, and I know that me and Scott talked a little bit, and that the things that you, Joe and Scott, are both dealing with your disorders, that's of concern. And that's the other thing that me and my wife were discussing this, is that the deaths that are really being recorded are definitely the ones in the older community, people over 80. And I know that Joe and Scott are really concerned about, because they have lower immune, they have some, immune system things going on. So that can affect you. So how do you guys feel about that?
Well, I mean, I'm concerned on more than one level. So, I mean, for me, there's the concern of what if I get it? There's also the concern of I was supposed to be getting ready for another surgery, which is now looking like it's going to be postponed because my doctors don't feel like it's safe to perform the procedure in the hospital where I would be.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. And my other big concern right now is my daughter. She has asthma, and I know it sounds like, okay, yeah, she has asthma. Asthma's a serious deal, man. And for her, it affects her everyday life. So anytime she coughs right now or something, I'm like, are you okay? What's going on? So you try not to let it freak you out too much, but there's just no way as a parent, especially, that you can't get paranoid when it comes to your kids. You're just always going to react overcautiously when it comes to your kids.
Right. Wasn't this particular strain deal with the lower part of the respiratory system anyways? Like it affects the lower part of the respiratory system,
like in your lungs. Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah. They're saying that it leads to pneumonia mostly and bronchitis. So that is the other thing. So the signs of it are very similar to a flu, like a low grade flu. Also, there is some definitely respiratory swollen, it's so similar. And the other thing that's interesting, so this has been found. So this actual virus was found in the 50s. This isn't the first time. This isn't going to be the last time that the coronavirus has been around. That's the reason why you see people with Lysol bottles that have coronavirus on them. So this isn't the first time, but it's the worst the worst that we've ever recorded as a pandemic, which means that it's spreading really fast. And that's the one thing that the coronavirus has over any of the other ones, is that the fact that it is spread so easily.
Right. Yeah. SARS is actually in the same category as coronavirus, but it's just the coronavirus has been more widespread real quick, and that's what causes a lot of the panic and stuff, and everybody rushing to their doctor's offices and hospitals. The people that actually need the treatment aren't going to be able to get there if everybody's in a panic to hurry up and get all in one place.
Yeah, the one thing that is really worrying people is the symptoms, right? SARS, you did not have it until you had symptoms. With this one, you can have it for 4 to 5 days and not have a fever, not have any symptoms, and it's contagious at that point. So that's what is really worrying people. If you can see symptoms and measure symptoms, it's pretty easy to adapt and adjust. But it's the idea that Rudy Gobert could have held on to that for 5 days, playing several teams that went and played several teams, but not have any symptoms during that time. I mean, everybody's probably seen his video by now touching the different mics.
Yeah.
That's the most cringe videos that will ever go down in history.
Yeah. And, it's funny. As soon as they said that he had contracted it and other players, I said they're shutting down shop. Before they even said it, I knew they were shutting down shop in the NBA. Because it's so easy for those guys to pass it from one to the other, and not just each other's teams, but from the other teams to the referees. I mean, by the time a game is done, you could have passed it along to, 50, 60 people. Like, it's that easy in that kind of situation.
Yeah, they believe that there were 12 teams that could have contracted it because of who the Jazz played and then who those teams played just within that 5 day stretch. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
it really is. This is something that's going to be talked about, like down the road in history. People are going to be asking about this situation and how we dealt with it. And, your grandkids or your great grandkids are going to be asking questions about this time.
Yeah, even if it doesn't go down as like some terrible death toll and all of that, the way that it was handled is very, very unique and new and fast moving. And I'm fascinated by the response. There are still some states or a lot of states that haven't shut down schools yet.
We just did today.
Yep, same here.
So
we just did for 2 weeks right now.
Yeah, so Arizona's been selective. There's some districts that are, but we're still not on a statewide yet.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Ohio State's completely locked down right now.
Yeah, Ohio was one of Washington, of course, was first, and then within just a little bit after that, on Thursday evening, Ohio shut down, Ontario shut down, but Michigan had not yet. And I'm right in between. I'm sandwiched between Ontario and Ohio, and I'm like, we can't get the call, and so that was interesting with that. But fellas, it's crazy how fast time goes with these types of things, and it kills me. 100%. I'll be back. Even probably on your next one, just let me know, especially if it's during break. I can make later happen. So Andy, just keep me posted, and
Okay.
I would love to join you guys and be able to hang out and relax a little bit more next time. But thank you, fellas. It was awesome.
Dan, thank you so
Thanks,
much
Dan.
for joining us, brother.
Yep.
Seriously.
Take it easy, man.
Yep.
All right,
Take
guys.
it easy, buddy.
All right, take care.
See ya. Thanks, Dan.
All right, it's almost like surreal. It's like Michael Jordan just left the building on us. Like, everybody breathe now. We can all relax a little bit. Like,
You know,
All right.
don't worry about stuttering or messing up your words. We're good, guys. Like, we did it.
All right.
so my first experience with a bigger reviewer was with, I think it was either Shark or Joe, who's in here. One of the two.
Oh, man,
asked
I
to
got to
be
get my
on there.
phone plugged in. I didn't want to walk away from the thing.
Oh, no worries. No worries. So I think my first experience was with Joe. So, and it's like such a big surreal, especially when you're used to just making a couple small videos in front of a camera and you've released them and you got like 5 people who've seen them. And then you get seen by, however many people. It's crazy.
Right.
It's crazy.
So, real quick, do you want me to I wrote down some numbers about the coronavirus real quick if you want to hear them.
Let's hear it. I really, that's the whole focus of, I think, of this stream, and we could talk a little bit later, but I think at the beginning we can talk seriously about this. Yeah.
All right. So then this was off of the New Yorker, which updated it. They said 15 minutes ago. So this is current, up to date, and this only deals with the U.S. right now. It says confirmed U.S. cases right now. There are 21,000 confirmed cases with a death toll of 48 right now. And these are confirmed, Now, just to kind of put that in perspective right now, we've got over 327 million people in our country. So as of right now, 21,000 is like, when you hear that, you're almost like put into a false sense ago. But take into the account, like Dan said, a lot of these states don't have a lot of these kits to test and find out if people even have it. So how many cases are going undetected? How many people could have passed away, but they didn't even know they passed away from this?
Right.
That's crazy right now.
That's the whole serious thing about this. And this is the one thing that maybe this is a minor thing and maybe, but I think you're absolutely right. There's no way of really detecting it. And the other thing that's very interesting, and if you watch all the movies on pandemics, there's been several out there throughout the years, we're just not prepared as a country to be able to deal with this. I mean, it took, and this is not a bash on any person, and I'm not going to be political, but it took us a while. We should have probably declared this about a week ago. And that was what some of the commentaries have said.
Yeah.
That we should have been in this state about a week ago when the first few cases that we saw were in this, because we knew what happened to China already.
Right.
Well, there's a lot of places.
Go ahead,
Scott.
Do you want to know what a really messed up thing is? Is that there's a documentary that came on Netflix right as soon as this crap hit, and it was called Pandemic and How to Prepare for It or something like that. It was crazy right at the same time.
That's crazy.
It all hit and blew up. I was like, I don't know if it was just some kind of weird coincidence or what, but it's just nuts.
There's also the thought, and I mean, some experts have had this thought, and I understand their way of thinking, that as soon as we saw that it went from China to Italy and we saw that it was moving from country to country and such, that basically the U.S. should have locked down then and prevented it from ever reaching here. And I understand what they're saying, but I think at the same time, you have to look at it from all perspectives, where they also didn't want to create like a false panic either. If there was no reason to freak out, they didn't want to freak everyone out.
Right, and that's Bam's point right here, is that the World Health Organization, which is the one that most people listen to other than the CDC, was making no statement yet. wasn't formally saying anything that it was a pandemic, that it was as bad as it was until recently. And now they have, because now they're getting the numbers in.
I do agree, though, that we should have been prepared for it no matter what, though.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll say about the beards, though, right? Because that's what kind of sparks a lot of talk around the community right now is, are you going to shave your beard? Aren't you going to shave your beard? There's a real simple solution here, and it's just be hygienic. Like, that's your biggest defense right now, is to be hygienic. Okay? If you go out somewhere for the day, come home, your night's over, you're washing up, wash your beard, guys. You wash your hands, wash your beard real quick. Like, I understand it might be a little bit annoying, but if you don't want to shave it, that's your other option, is to be hygienic, take care of it, and clean it. That way nothing's sitting up in there waiting to get everybody sick.
Right. And that's the other thing is that, so hygiene matters. Being just, it's the same as a common cold. You don't want to pass colds or flus to other people. So even within the same family, if you have to and you have a sick kid, quarantine them. Don't let them walk around the house. Don't let them go out. It's very easy to make sure that germs and viruses. Now, the weird thing about this virus is that it lasts a long time on devices without any intervention in some cleaning supply. So on surfaces, they said, I think it was like 9 to 14 days it can last on a surface.
Was it that long? I heard it was like 48 hours.
Maybe that's it. I thought, I hear that's the other thing. And and we can talk about that there are so many rumors about what it is.
Right.
That you don't know.
Like, it's almost like you got to treat this, and this is my only comparison right now because it's the only thing I have working for me, and it might sound weird, but if somebody in this house came down with it, I'm treating it as if they had lice, okay? Anything in their possession, anything that's been near them, anything they touched is getting washed, okay? And if it can't get washed, it's getting thrown away. It's that simple.
Right.
And the person is quarantined until I know everything's okay. And that might not sound real cool or whatever, but I'm more concerned about keeping everybody safe.
Right.
Right. So even if it's me, dude, I'm locking my door and I'm going to talk to Sam through the door. Like, hey, do your work. Go upstairs, get your work done, all that good stuff. But if I have to keep her away from me, then it is what it is. But just remember, guys, it's just be smart right now. That's the biggest thing here. Be smart. You don't feel good? Don't look at it as, it's just a cold. You know what's out there right now. So if you have to get checked, go get checked.
Right. And then there is protocols now that they're putting in places. So there will be hospitals that have tents outside of them so that you can go get checked. They do not want anybody who possibly thinks that they have this to be going through the general population of the hospitals. So there will be, in the shortcomings, in the short amount of time, there will be some tents set up for screening. So make sure that you follow the proper protocol. There will be some things set in place. Just make sure that you read about or call the hospital before you go down to make sure you know what their protocols are so that you are getting properly seen. And also, if you have anything else that's going on, like go to the regular hospital. But I think you still have to follow the right protocols. So if you have something else, just know that they are.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Prac.
No, go ahead.
I got a small taste of that already because when I went to the hospital, because the clinic I go to and stuff for my condition is based out of a hospital building. And when I went the other day, like at the door, there was a guard waiting for us. And they had like a checklist of questions. Have you been out of the country in the last 2 weeks? Do you have any coughing, sneezing, muscle pains, this, that? And if you checked off any of those, you were turned around. Like, bye. Have a nice day.
Right. Which is, I'm on TikTok and somebody was talking about this in one of their live streams that they called to get tested and they were told, don't worry about it.
Wow.
So I just don't think that there's a lot of communication. And Dan brought up a very good point about West Virginia. People are saying that it's the best, but there's no kits to test it. So, if you don't know, you think it's just a flu or it's cold, then you're not going to go down there and get checked, especially if they don't have the process or the kits to check.
Well, that's the other thing here is that from what I'm understanding, at least, there have been quite a few cases where essentially it's basically the flu and they get over it in 6-7 days and they're back to normal. And because of that, like, a lot of people are just kind of, okay, it's not that big of a deal, but for some people this could be a very serious situation, and also, again, how many people aren't even going to get checked because they're just assuming they had the flu?
Right.
Right. And that's the one thing that is very interesting about this is that, so there's all this, then there is the scare part that I think that's the part that I feel the most is that could we have handled it in a different way to where mass hysteria, mass scared people wouldn't have shown up? And I mean, there's people that are wiping out where other people cannot get toilet paper or basic essentials.
I've got a secret stash of toilet paper at an off-site location. Okay, $50 a roll, guys. $50 a roll. $50 a roll. I will sell it by squares too. I will sell it by squares.
Right. But that's my whole point is that what could we have done differently, do you think, that would have put us into it? I don't think that there's no procedure in place for a pandemic that we follow. There's nothing no protocol that was set up that could effectively communicate what was going on. We didn't act on it maybe fast enough. And then what happens is that there's a knee-jerk reaction, which is I'm seeing in the general public. And then everybody's feeding on it, which is why I really wanted to stream about this, because I think the facts speak for themselves and I want everybody to be aware. Now, we are going to be affected economically. This will probably turn into a downturn for us economically. Yeah. People will probably be out of a job for a bit.
Dude,
a lot of people.
I'm scared as can be right now because, like I said, I don't work a normal job. I have a side job that I work. Okay. That side job is not a necessity job. It's a party hall. It's a place where people host birthday parties and stuff like that. Right. And I'm supposed to have a pretty big weekend. And that weekend was supposed to take care of my phone bill and a few other things because I just don't have a lot of money in life. I keep staring at my phone all day long going, just don't make that call. Nobody call me. Tell me everything's fine. I ain't going near the place till everybody's out of it, but I'm still going to get over there and do my job if I can. I need the money. And a lot of people are in that same boat where they might not want to go to their job because they're afraid of what could happen. But if it's still open, they're going because they need the money.
Right. And that's the one thing that, so what if they shut things like that down? So there might be and it could turn into that where they start shutting down social places, bars,
San Francisco, I think it is, already did. San Francisco did I think it's against anything with over 100 people in it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's going to be a serious thing that's going to affect us seriously. We're going to get through like this point to where we're quarantined. The problem with quarantined, and this is there is going to be things like that, but there isn't going to be a lot of it, and it's going to be kind of scary for a little bit while they're trying to figure it out.
Right. But I think what's crazy about this is, from what I'm hearing, is you could carry the virus but not show symptoms or be sick at all, and then pass it on to the next person, and then they end up getting super sick. So
a carrier.
Yep. There's a lot of people that'll be a carrier and not even know it.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that's really scary about this, and the fact that the one thing that I've noticed that they have, and I don't remember, is it the country or whether it's just a couple states that are declaring that nobody is to go visit a elderly care facility
Nationwide.
I think it is nationwide, and they say only essential personnel only because of the fact that it's had such a bad reaction to the elderly. Now the good thing is this is, I have a grandchild, so he's like 1 month old, that it isn't affecting children as bad. So that's at least a plus in that area, but very scary stuff.
I'll take that plus.
Yeah,
I'll take that plus because my biggest concern is my daughter. Like, listen, I don't mean to sound like like a whatever kind of guy, but if this is my time, if this is the way I'm going to go, if this thing gets me and that's that, as long as my daughter gets through this okay, then I'm totally fine with that outcome. Like, I'm good with that. My biggest concern is her. You know, I know all you guys would be heartbroken if I wasn't here and you wouldn't know how to go on, but I promise you'd be all right. You guys would get by. I know Mech would shed a few tears, but he'd be okay.
So Rob is in the house, Mr. Straight Bearded. We got Joe in the house, and Chad may be a little sad. You know, and to make
Come on, you got to try and lighten the mood a little bit. They're very serious right now. You got to try and get a few laughs in there.
So that's so funny because that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, we kind of got to go down a little bit. The funny thing about it is, and this is what I've kind of enjoyed in this serious time, is all of the crazy memes and the crazy TikTok videos that I've seen, where people are just like, there's one that has like this corona and there's just like people taking videos of the empty cupboards and they're just trying to make light of it.
Because there's very few middle of the road people. And what I mean by that is people who think rationally and respond to this rationally. So there's either one or the other usually. It's either somebody who completely overreacts to the situation, goes to Walmart and buys 100 of everything they see because this is it. This is the moment that guy's been preparing for his whole life. Doomsday is here, you know? Or there's guys, and I'm guilty of this because this is me really, there's guys like me who a lot of the times will be like, yeah, whatever, it's just another thing, whatever, we'll get by it, we'll be fine, it's not a big deal. You know, this time around, I am taking things a little more seriously, but most of the time I would just whatever it. And there's very few middle of the road people. And those other two sides, those two that freak out one way or the other, it's just a lot of fun to watch. Like, I mean, there's no way around it. Seeing a guy go through Walmart with a stack of toilet paper so high that you can't even see him, it's funny. Like, it's just.
It's people, and I think that here's the thing, is I don't think they know how to react. They're like, the weirdest thing about it wasn't food. Like, I was thinking, toilet paper?
Right.
Like, why toilet paper of all the things? Like, I get the Lysol, I get the what is it? The
hand sanitizer.
Yeah, it was a hand sanitizer.
I can't find it over here to save your life, man. Toilet paper I can get you.
How many people actually blow their nose on Kleenex over toilet paper, though? That's a serious, legitimate question. How many people actually use Kleenex to blow their nose, or do they use toilet paper? Like,
true point.
Yep.
I know that most of the time we don't buy Kleenex.
I use paper towel.
You can use paper towel or toilet paper because it's there.
It's there, readily available.
Yeah, and it's
listen. Beard hack for you guys. I mean, a hack for you guys too. There is a backup to toilet paper, guys, and we'd have to go back to our baby stages.
Leaves,
you know, but baby wipes, flushable wipes. I promise you, they're all on the shelves now in the store today. No one's touched them.
Right.
Go buy you some flushable wipes, man, or do what Johnny did and go get you a bidet and install that thing real quick.
Yeah,
that's my next purchase.
We are actually not allowed to have flushable wipes even in our city because we got a thing in our electric bill saying that we're not allowed to flush even flushable wipes. People were using them too much and it backed it up and it plugged up the sewer pump.
Wipes.
the sewer pump thing, so they couldn't actually get clean water because it was backed up, so it was made a mess.
Right. So Doug has a really good point here, and he's totally right. We survived the Spanish influenza, the Asian flu, swine flu, and every time less and less fatal I can't even read it. Fatal casualties. We will overcome this once again.
Listen, like with any one of the other ones he just mentioned, when it's first reported, it's such a smack in the face because it's usually not reported until it's pretty bad already. So as soon as we hear about it, it's like there's 50,000 confirmed cases worldwide and there's 1,000 deaths already, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?"
The unknown.
Listen, that's what it is the unknown.
Right. And I think that's what people react to.
Yep.
Against the government, not listen to them and all that good stuff. But right now, what they're telling you to do is smart. Try to avoid public places if you can. Try to avoid large gatherings. If you feel sick, quarantine your ass, man. Don't be passing it around to everybody else. And then you walk in and you know it's past. I saw the hell out of everything you touched. Everything.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing right now is I'm avoiding the public and I'm avoiding fast food places. And then, I just forgot the other thing. But
so Tyson has a good point here, and he is stating, I'm so
that's
blind.
very true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Tyson's point is it becomes real when you can't buy food and aren't supposed to leave your house. Now that is a true statement, and there's a good possibility of that happening.
Very, very good possibility.
So what do you guys think about that? Now, are you as a, are you guys prepared to be able to handle that where you have to stay in house? Now, I guess we are. I don't think we really are. I think we would probably starve in a week if we didn't have any intervention.
I don't know if we'd starve in a week. We have a decent amount of meats and stuff like that in the freezer and such. So I think we'd be okay for a couple weeks at least. And we haven't gotten locked down yet. So my plan is, and a couple of our plans in the house is to go out tomorrow and kind of pick the scraps, if you will, whatever's left around to grab. And I'm not talking like, I know a lot of people are thinking like the canned goods and stuff. I don't see us being like on lockdown for a year or something like that. I'm thinking maybe a month or two, maybe it could happen.
At least
so I'm thinking like meats, because you can put them in the freezer and they're good for a long time. Right. So it's, and you might have to think outside the box here, guys. Be smart, man. Make a mustard sandwich.
Mustard sandwich all day long. Some ramen.
Make a wish sandwich. Make a wish meat sandwich.
Yeah.
I wish I had me some meat in this sandwich. Like, you'll be all right.
Hopefully, in that scenario, if it comes to that point that we do have to get locked down, and everybody has to stay in their house and whatnot, that we actually do have rations and whatnot, that it can be provided to us, because we're not going to be able to go, anybody is not going to be able to go to their jobs or anything like that. So there's not going to be no money to buy the food with to begin with.
Mustard sandwich.
Well, and that's where FEMA is supposed to be helping out. So FEMA is actually going to be out there. I don't know how wide what they're going to be doing. I don't know how they're going to be doing it. That's the thing, to really be watching the news on how are they going to be, what's going on, make sure you know what updates are happening, and then know where to get safety, food, supplies, stuff like that. Because the grocery stores, I went to the grocery store today, they were out of a lot of things. But the weird thing is they weren't out of meat. They were out of a lot of canned goods, mostly canned goods, pastas, and other things like that, dry goods.
People are prepping like this is the end of the world. And while I'm not saying it's not a big deal, it's not the end of the world. Okay, this is not where we go. So everybody's grabbing things that are going to be good for years to come. And everybody's leaving behind things that could keep them fed right now. Yep. You know what I mean? Like you got to think a little differently than your normal people. What's happening is everybody's looking up your doomsday preppers and things like that. And whatever those sites tell you to go get, that's what they're going and buying. That's why you're seeing the pastas gone and the canned good gone and all that stuff, because they all last a long time. I guarantee you can't find rice a whole lot either.
So Joe brings up the fact that, and this is what has put FEMA into action and been able to give out money. So $52 billion is now available to help supply. And so he enacted the Stafford Act, Stafford Act, sorry.
Think about this. They just enacted a $52 billion act to help all of us. Now, there's like 372 or 327 million of us in the country. That's a lot of money that they just put out to come help us. Like, that's
a ton.
That's a lot of money. So, I mean, and again, like I said, all these charts they put out and these predictions and everything else did not take into account that there would be precautionary measures taken. Those charts were put out for worst case scenarios. Like, in other words, we didn't know about it. We didn't do nothing about it. And it just spread like wildfire without anybody trying to even stop it. So now that the country is trying, maybe it won't. I don't know. We're going to have this thing out and see what happens.
Yeah. So Tex brings up a point, and I'm not going to make this into a political debate, but Tex does bring up a point that we kind of dropped the ball a little bit on how fast. So he ignored it, and then kind of, if you see the videos, his first video was like, this isn't as serious a thing, and then now it's coming out how serious this really is, and he's had to kind of retract.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
But he's had to retract his statements a lot. And I think that some of that is what, and maybe it's what he was being fed. We don't know what goes behind the scenes. So I'm definitely not playing the political Trump card here, but we did react very poorly at first to this. Yeah. And I've been told the critique again is that we were a week off of it being able to be, at least the first few cases were 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? No, in January.
Well, that's what they're saying. And that's what they're saying overall about the whole situation, is that, like, even the states now, independent states, and their reaction time is horrible, because they're saying, like, for example, Washington's real bad and Jersey's 3 or 4 days behind them. So Jersey should have had plenty of time to prepare for what was coming. Like, do the right thing, do this, do that. Instead, we waited until it was here, and then we went, oh, shit, we got to do something.
Right. Well, and I think it's just because, again, we don't have the proper protocol. And that's the one thing that natural disasters bring out is it's unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. And you don't know, especially with people, you kind of have a general idea about how people are going to react. I think that Trump was being told, and a lot of people are still told this. My wife has the same belief that this isn't as bad a deal. So don't make it a bad deal. Don't make it bigger than it is.
I think what it is too right now is that it's something that we still don't know a whole lot about. We don't know what it can mutate into. We don't know how long it's going to stay around. Right. We don't know, if we're going to be locked down. We don't know how long our food supply is going to be cut off from, or our stuff that's supposed to be coming in from China to keep our jobs going. We don't know.
That's crazy.
We really don't know.
Do you see Jeff's comment, guys? So
that's
he's
crazy.
Saying, that's crazy. So Walmart in another county was closed.
Listen, there's a Costco by me here. All right. I don't know if you guys have a Costco near you.
Yep, we do.
Yeah.
So somebody put up a video today on Instagram from a guy I went to high school with. That's how I know it was the Costco by here. Like, I know, like, all around it. And he posted a video, and the line just to get into Costco, there was a line to get in the building right now. Okay, the lines for, like, checking out and stuff went all the way around into the back of the store, and the shelves were, like, almost picked clean. And that's Costco, dude. This is a bulk store that buys everything in bulk. So, I mean, people are there. It's getting real right now, and I'm not saying to go out and be like all them. I'm not saying, hey man, if you see toilet paper on a shelf, buy every roll you see. You see canned goods, buy it all. I'm saying know your household, know what you're going to need, and think of it like, okay, usually we go through this much in a month when only half of us is home most of the time. Now we're all going to be home, so let me double that, and then double that again to prepare for if we're in the house for 2 months, basically.
Yeah, and what part of the problem with that too is all those people in that line, 1 or 2 of them people might be carrying it. And then it just creates a chain reaction within that long line, and it's just going to cause even more problems.
Yep. I was at Sam's Club today, and just to check the place out, and it was pretty much like that too. Things were picked scarce. Probably a good 100 people in the checkout. People scattered all over the store. Just craziness.
They're going to have to start coming up with some exceptions here too, because if people are stuck without work, there's going to be a lot of bills out there that aren't getting paid too here. And some of these companies are going to have to be forgiving on this. This isn't your choice. You're not choosing not to pay a bill here and not go to work. You're stuck in the same situation that all of us are.
Right.
So this is the interesting thing, and Joe has a point, and we are doing a stream about it. So he has a good point. Sometimes too much information spewed by too many voices isn't a good thing. And then he's telling about, I remember when news was news and newspapers. Oh, yep. So this is talking about his reference back to when actual news was out there and it wasn't a political point where by Fox and Friends or CNN or whoever they want to go along with. It wasn't a political party. It was actual news. It was facts. And that's the reason why I wanted to get on this stream, to be honest with you, is because I wanted to distribute facts. Some of it is, stuff that I've heard, but I want to debunk whatever is not truth.
Yeah, there's so much that you're hearing that, people saying stuff on different, like social medias, different news.
See, that's the thing too, is like the media is like the worst thing for anything like that, anything like this, because, for one, people make jokes about it, but then also people don't mistake the jokes for seriousness and don't know what's actual truth and what's not. And it's just confusing people, and it's just adding to the chaos.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to laugh in the middle of that. I read Joe's comment and it made me laugh.
What did he say?
Right here where it says, I'm so pissed at Gobert. Ryan, he ruined a damn good joke by me. So if you watch Beard Therapy, Joe said that Utah was going to be fine because nobody messes with the Mormons. And then like the next day, Rudy Gobert comes out and gets diagnosed. And Joe was like, are you kidding me?
That's awesome. I saw that. That was actually a really good stream. I enjoyed that stream. If anybody who's watching this, Beard Therapy is now on Tuesdays, I think, right, Joe?
Beard Therapy is on Tuesdays now.
Yeah, I love it.
I know you weren't talking to this Joe, but still, that's
different Joe.
It's just
but
like
Barbado Joe.
It's just like what Rob put out there. The regurgitation of all social media posts is troubling, and that's exactly right. I mean, it's causing this mass hysteria just even worse, and it's
because your average person doesn't even read what they're posting. They just see a headline that says, coronavirus spread like crazy, government spread, and they just hit share.
Yeah, it's clickbait. Right. It's just like coronavirus, shave your beard,
They don't actually read the article. They don't see where the article came from, if it's an actual substantial source to get your information from. They don't do their homework on things. They just hit share, and then another person does it, and before you know it, it's like, the old telephone game. By the time it gets to the end of the line, the coronavirus is a super virus created by the government to make us all become zombies so that Trump can be president for the next 40 years. Like, stop. Read.
But I thought that was the truth. I think you're absolutely right, and I think that it's scary, guys. It is scary, but I think I'm more scared of the people and the reactions to them. Now, there's a conspiracy theory about the fact that this is an election year.
Of course.
And that this is all put together by the Democrats to help destroy President Trump's economy, which was fairly okay, actually, for his 4 years. Love him or like him, the economy was pretty strong in the last 4 years.
I'll tell you the problem with that. If this is some grand scheme plan, and I'm not big on the conspiracy theories and stuff like that, but if it is some grand scheme and all that good stuff, here's the issue with that. The reality of the situation is most of these conditions affects, I'm trying to say this correctly, financial classes, if you will. So lower income classes are going to have a harder time in these situations because they can't afford or get the treatment and the help that they need a lot of the times. And historically speaking, the lower income has always leaned towards the Democrats. So if they wipe out their own group here, how are they getting the votes in this one? That's where this whole plant thing might not make a whole lot of sense if that's the case. I'm not saying it's not, but
no, it's all conspiracy theory. We didn't land on the moon either.
Nope, and the Earth is flat.
Right.
So I do have a question though, for Chad. Knowing that it is in
2060,
Knowing that it's in your city, Chad, does that give you a higher risk of concern and how close it's coming towards me now?
I feel like you should always have a concern with anything like that, but no.
It wasn't giving him a higher risk of concern till you said something. Gee, thanks.
No,
you know?
no. Thanks, Ebert. No, I just it's all about common sense. Just if wash your hands. Stay clean. Stay away from large crowds. If you're sick, stay home, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean,
listen, and the little things can matter too. The little things can matter in a big way. Like, so somebody actually messaged me earlier. I don't know if you guys saw the little video I posted on Instagram earlier, where I was actually bringing in my beard mail, and then I wiped all of it down. Like I took wipes, alcohol wipes, and wiped all of it down, and then I washed my hands and all before I did anything.
Yep.
And then as soon as I was done opening it, I washed my hands again. And somebody messaged me and was like, being a bit of a germaphobe there, aren't you overreacting a little bit? Well, no.
How?
How many people touch that package? I worked in FedEx. I know how many hands that package goes through before it actually gets to you.
Right.
And like we said, you can have this and not even know you have it. The whole thing, you were a carrier. So somebody could be working there handling your package, and if it's a 2 to 3 day package, guess what? It can get to you, and it's still sitting on your package.
Right, package.
It's a little thing. It's a little thing, and it might seem crazy, but it takes all of 20 seconds to take out a wipe and wipe down your package real quick. And I know how that sounded before anyone in the chat says it.
Yeah,
I know exactly how it sounded.
That's funny.
But
that too. Wash your package, guys.
Yeah, that too, though. Be hygienic, folks.
Yeah, Miners did a live the other night, too, stating that, be safe, when you get your beard mail and stuff. Just wipe your stuff down, man. Just take extra caution.
So I'm gonna bring this up, and it's gonna be kind of what do you guys think about people making it for you?
What, the makers?
The makers. I mean, how do we know that what they're producing is safe? Doesn't need to be. I mean, maybe they have something and then they made it and then you get it. Is that going over? In my opinion, that's probably a little overkill to keep, be so concerned about it. A little crazy,
thanks.
but
thanks,
right?
Andy. I just got all kinds of packages in today. Thanks a lot. Great.
But what do you guys think about that? I mean, how far do you think this should go? How should you be scared about everything that you get in the mail? Should you be concerned about even the food that you're eating could possibly have it? Because there's foodborne illnesses. So how far can you go on this? I think that there's some standard protocols.
Do we have a concrete, like, hey, this lasts for so long on a surface? Like, do we know that yet?
So BAM stated it was 3 days. I've heard 9 days.
I heard 48 hours, so I don't know. It's up in the air. Like,
see, there's so many different answers of what.
Yeah, but see,
we still don't know a lot about this.
First of all, what we're talking about here with the products is not completely about trust, because you could have a maker in the same kind of situation where he's carrying the virus and doesn't even know it.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay? So you could easily have someone in that situation and not know it. However, if we did have a set day, so if BAM is saying 3 days, and BAM's kind of my go-to for these things, I trust BAM. I really do look to him quite a bit when situations like this come up. If BAM is saying 3 days, then guys, I know we all love to pop open our beard mail and dive right in, but putting it in a quarantine for 3 days to make sure it's safe might not be the worst idea.
Yeah. And besides that, I mean, who can you blame? How do you know it wasn't the mailman who had it by the time it got to you?
Right, and that's what Rob is saying. It has nothing to do with the brand. Accidents happen.
Right, it's nobody's fault.
No, I don't think anybody purposely out of intention. Now, what this comes down to, and this is what I'm going to state, is that it comes down to what Joe's been speaking of. Just be cleaning, be safe, be vigilant, but you can't go nuts because you never know. Everything's out of our hands, really. Most everything's out of our hands.
Right.
But there is things that you can do that will every day help you. One of them is washing your hands. The second thing was don't touch your face. I know it's a habit for most of us to touch the face,
Oh my
especially
God,
the beard.
that's so hard for me. I'm always messing with my beard and my mustache. And
Drink water, stay healthy.
Right, exactly. So there is protocols to help you. Like you said, if you know that you're getting some mail, wipe it down with a clean wipe. There also is stuff online so that you can do some DIY. I saw one with aloe vera, Everclear, and a little bit of lavender. Put into a bowl is the same as the hand sanitizers.
Listen, when most things, when most things out there and most things that happen to you in life, a little bit of common sense can go a long way towards helping you make it through most situations in life. Okay. You don't need to overthink things, and you don't need to act like it's not a big deal. You just need to use common sense.
Common sense.
You should have been washing up. You should have been hygienic to begin with in your life. You dirty little weirdo. Okay. But if you're not doing it, now's the time to get into those habits.
Right.
Wash your hands.
But why
wash your beard.
Why wait till now, though? It seems like you see a lot of people just now starting to get in with the routine of washing their hands and shit.
Exactly. Listen, and this is a very true story. When my daughter was younger, she was, and still is to this day, an extreme germaphobe. She used to wash her hands so much that she would get open sores on the back of her hand from drying her skin out and stuff, from washing them 30 times a day. To the point where I used to have to literally stand guard in my bathroom. Like, nope, you're not going in there. You're not doing it because you're just going in to wash your hands again.
Right.
She still washes them probably about 8 to 10 times a day. And we all made fun of her in this house for it. She's probably the smartest person here right now. That's just the reality.
Yeah.
Right.
That's exactly what I was saying. That comment that you have highlighted down there by Tyson. That's what I was saying was that the import. Most of our food is imported, and that's what I'm worried about too. Is like we're not going to be able to have the imports to for the food supply, and that's going to be a really hurtful thing.
But,
right.
Yeah. Tyson, did you see Tyson's? Yeah, there it is. My worry lies within the economy and being able to buy food. That's a very real concern here. And for all the use, and I get it, all the preppers out there, and you want to make sure you're ready. This is the time to think of your common man too, and the other people out there. If you walk into a store and buy every single last canned item on the shelf, then nobody else can get a thing. I'm not saying don't be prepared. I'm saying think about the long haul here and everybody else involved too. There's a lot of us out there, and we need to start looking out for each other as well as ourselves.
So Doug has a good point, and this is, he has some facts here. So if somebody wants to read that really quick, I'm being blind boy Andy today.
So here is the number, guys. Spanish influenza, 1918, 50 million people died. Asian flu, 1958, took 2 million lives. Swine flu, 2009, took 203,000 people died. We will be okay. Have faith and wash your hands. Yep. Or just hit it with beard wash, says Straight 8, says Rob. Isopro works. Use a beard oil and balm. You don't like to moisturize if your hands dry out or get irritated. Yep. Listen, like I said,
our Walmart sold out of isopropyl too. All the isopropyl and any alcohol in our Walmart is gone. Completely gone.
That's all bleach.
But what the base point here of Douglas's factoids there was simply what I was just saying, man. A little bit of common sense can go a very long way towards keeping you and your family safe. It's just be smart. Think things through.
And also faith.
Well, I think you're right. Faith is always a good thing. That's all you really have at the end of the day. And the real truth is that there is so many little things that could go wrong that don't. And you can only do what you can do. And Doug is exactly on the point with this, is that do what you can do. And that's make sure your hands are washed. Make sure you're cleaning well. You're cleaning up after yourself. Stuff that that you always should be doing. Foodborne illnesses are a normal thing for us. We don't realize it. We call it the flu, but it comes from us not washing our hands. Maybe somebody at a restaurant having that problem.
Hey, Bam, where did you get your numbers from? I'm just curious. I'm not saying they're wrong, by the way. I'm just curious because I was on a site and I got different numbers. The numbers I got was confirmed cases in the U.S. was 21,000. Bam's got 1,629. He's got 41 died. I have 48. So I'm just curious where he got the numbers from because I just want to know, like, if I can go to that site myself and get the numbers.
I know that you can get them from the CDC. So that's where I would actually, if you were to ask me, where should you be getting your numbers? Go to the CDC website, and they've actually said that.
Yeah.
The news will be.
I'm sorry, not 21,000, 2,100. My apologies.
Yeah.
My apologies, Rob. I said that wrong. 2,100.
Right.
Yes.
Just came to say hi, you know.
Oh, there's Sammy Cakes.
He's gone.
I know. I want to ask the other people too.
Okay, come on in.
Come on in.
I'm on FaceTime with Andrea.
It's okay. You can come in and say hi. Here, throw the other earbud in.
I have to do school online for the next 2 weeks of my life.
How do you feel about that, Sammy?
I still have to wake up at 8:30, so.
Bonner, still school.
You know, she doesn't hate. She's not one of those kids that hates school, though. She's
That's
really
cool.
not.
That's awesome.
Every now and then she'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to go today," but for the most part,
We all have those days.
she's up and ready.
Coronavirus here?
That's what we've been talking about the whole stream, yeah.
Yeah.
And I told them about when you used to wash your hands so bad that you would
They're still dry.
dry them out and start breaking out.
I came down here to actually wash my hands
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
because I'm not trying to get the coronavirus.
Thank God for Texas soaps, man. Big Tech sent her a bunch of soaps, and they're a lot easier than some of the soaps she uses in the past
Nice.
on her hands.
That's awesome.
What gentler
Here.
soaps?
I'm on FaceTime here.
Okay, then go.
I can FaceTime on my Chromebook. Okay, I'm going back to Andrea.
All right, baby. I love you.
So, you know what? I would have to agree that his bars are very moisturizing. Just to get on a side topic, that's Tex has some really good soap.
Sammy Cakes, the best reviewer. And yeah,
She
Sammy
is.
Cakes is the king. I promise you. She's the
She
queen.
is.
Yeah, who's
She
this Nick
runs it.
guy? Who's this Nick guy? He said.
Who's this Nick? I don't know, man. I have no idea who he is. I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
I
funny.
don't know. Listen, the very reality of it is right now, because of the situation in Jersey, this channel right now is basically going to be run by me and Sam because my brother, I don't think, is going to be coming over for a while. So we have a ton of work to get done, and I can't fall any farther behind. So Sammy Kicks is done, and we're going to get it done.
Right. You know, but I want to add though, I think it's very important for like people to stay calm and not panic. You know?
Good point, Chad.
Put up Acker's comment. Let's see if anybody can answer it for him.
Who's
That's
Nick?
why I was laughing.
Who's Nick?
I was laughing at that.
Put it up. See if anybody can answer it for him.
So,
Hey,
Chad,
Joe,
I think
who's Nick, Joe? Barbado
Yeah.
Joe, who's Nick?
F Nick.
Oh, that's epic.
Oh, that's hilarious. So,
Listen,
Chad, you're
guys-
absolutely right, though.
The one time, just a real quick side note here. So the one time I was thinking about changing our channel name, right? And Barbado Joe is actually the one who talked me out of changing it. But I put up, hey guys, any ideas? Let me hear your thoughts. And Gary from Chesapeake answers back, Sammy Cakes, Daddy, and some other dude.
And the other dude.
The other dude. Who's the other dude?
That's exactly. Who's the other guy? That's hilarious.
A figment of your imagination.
So I was telling Joe that too, that I think some people get busy. I started this channel with the opportunity to work with my sister a lot more. And I thought, hey, that'll be awesome. We'll do all these live streams. And then she just got married. Her life is busy. And I think I've had her on 4 times. And I just had to move on. I was like, well, and it wasn't any, I don't think she holds any ill will towards me, thinking that I just have to move on and get my own stuff going.
Well, going forward, I think me and Practitioner are going to try and start working together more and doing some more things together and stuff like that. And
for sure,
it is, I mean, and you know what? I give my brother a hard time a lot of the times. I do, but he's a newlywed. He works 6 days a week, and sometimes I forget that he doesn't have my life, where I'm kind of just sitting here all day going nuts, bored, not feeling good. And I honestly look forward to doing my videos and getting into the beard world because it's like it's an escape from all the other crap in my life. And now you add in the Rona run, and it's like, man, let me just stay focused on the beard world, please.
Right.
Yeah. So somebody's supporting your statement, Chad, and I definitely want to make sure that patience, calmness, we'll get through this, guys.
And
we'll get through this.
Support people.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey,
Yeah.
Andy, did you see Tex's comment?
Sorry, I'm trying not to laugh. Joe's comment.
What did he say? Waken combo 2 England today. See, there you go, guys. So just to let you know, that is my collab with Mr. Tex. It is awesome stuff.
It's your what?
Yeah, it is.
It's your what? It's a what?
It's a collab.
What's it called?
Collaboration.
I just think it's the way he says collab is funny to me.
It's a collaboration.
He actually says it properly. That's the problem. I'm from Jersey. I say it like an idiot. He says it properly, so it just sounds funny to me.
You know, this is the interesting thing: is people from Arizona don't have an accent. That's mostly all of us would say. Other than if you talk to a British, we sound like we're cowboys. But he says all Yanks sound like cowboys. But we don't have like a Bostonian accent. We don't have a Southern accent, a Jersey. You know, we don't have. We just have a. You know, there's a lack of accent in Arizona.
I don't think I have a Jersey accent. Do I have a Jersey accent?
To me.
Yeah?
To me, you do. To me, you're like a New Yorker, right?
Oh, no, dude. Don't say that. I'll show you New Yorkers, bro. I don't sound like them.
To guy who doesn't have any of it, yeah, I don't. It's just interesting.
There's a little river between us and New York, and that little river is a big separation, boy.
Yeah.
Say, all I can say, if you have the accent,
You
just
do,
say,
yeah, you do. Really? I have that bad of a Jersey accent? I didn't even know it, man.
I can see if you do or not. Say, we're walking here.
Johnny Grooms has a stronger. Oh yeah, no, I've heard Johnny. Johnny definitely has the Jersey accent. You can hear it strong when Johnny starts talking. I didn't know I had it too. I know I have the Jersey phrases, if you will, like how we mesh words together. Like Zebra, ask Mech, did you eat? Ask him that phrase.
Did you eat yet?
All right, now the way I say it, Jeet yet?
Jeet.
We kind of combine all three together. It's just yeet, yeet, like, and then did just kind of drops off eventually, and it's just yeet.
So Joe has a couple comments that I like. The first one, if somebody wants to read that really quick for me.
Which one?
The one that I have highlighted. So
okay. I think the great thing. Oh, wait, here. I'll read it on my phone. That's easier. I think the great thing is we have each other to check on and call out and make sure we are all properly informed. Yeah, no, that's.
Yep.
It's a good. He's right, and it is because we can kind of keep each other in the loop, and I'm sure that, you know, like for example here, if I didn't hear from Andy for like 4 or 5 days, not even like 2 days, honestly, if I didn't hear from Andy, I'm going to start checking in on him. Like, hey, you know, you okay, brother? What's going on? Because we all usually, the first thing here, usually hear from each other on a daily basis. So 2 days without hearing from you guys, I'd get a little nervous. I would.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, and that's Joe and Joe, Joe and Joe. You guys bring up an excellent point, and check up on your fellow brothers. That's what this community is about. Let's be positive. Let's be strong, but also let's show support for other people. There's going to be, I don't know how, and I was talking to Joe earlier about this. How do we create something that if somebody needs some help, how do we get them that? So I would definitely, I'm going to see if there's any funds, like a fund out there that we can give a charity, give charity to, some sort of something, a charity or something that we can give to that will help other people out in these situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, all we got to do is keep being the community we've been so far. I mean, on a whole here, where we try to be there for each other, and we just need to keep being that community, not lose our heads here. Look out for your brothers, man. It takes all 2 minutes to grab the phone and send a message and be like, hey, is everyone okay? I mean, look, this last week and some change, Chef, you guys all know how close me and Chef are. Okay. He was not feeling good, and you didn't see him on Instagram much and everything, but I was messaging him almost every day, checking on him.
too.
Like, hey, you okay? What's going on? You know, you feeling all right? And, you know, even busting his balls here and there just to make him like smile and laugh a little bit.
Yeah, me too, because I was afraid that it might have transpired into something worse, and I didn't want that to happen. So I was like, dude, you okay? You know, dude, you all right?
Right.
And I just don't want anything like that to happen.
I'm sorry. Is anybody else reading that comment? Johnny's gets thick when he gets excited. Am I the only 12-year-old reading?
I know. I thought that was a good one.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's just like I told Andy, Practitioner. I was talking to him, I think it was either last night or the night before. I said, if I'm not on Instagram like throughout the day or something like that, it's not, no offense to anybody at all, it's just I'm not having a good day, and I'll have a migraine or something. I just don't want to be social, or I just don't want to deal with stuff at that time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
my
guess
days like that.
Right.
for me and you, Zebra, that's where it can get a little, you know, off here, because we can go missing for a few days and it have nothing to do with this. You know,
Right.
It can be our separate issues that we have to deal with in our lives and things like that. And I still, though, even if you know somebody has something and they might go off the grid, or it takes 2 seconds to send a message, guys. Shoot them one real quick.
Oh, of course.
Make sure somebody's okay, man.
That's why I at least send you a message and be like, dude, you okay? You know, even if you don't want to talk, you'd be like, yeah, I just having a crappy day or whatever. You know, I was like, okay, I get it.
Yep. Just not feeling it today. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is awesome, guys. I appreciate you guys. So just to make what is lighter, let's get a little bit lighter on this. Where do
we're
you
gonna
guys
get light here? I thought we were just gonna go like full on like
we could
Death Star tonight. Like
we could be Death Star, but I think the fact that there's a couple takeaways that I get from this, and this is the fact that we have each other's backs here. That's the biggest takeaway. Have good hygiene. And you know what I really like about it is that we can still laugh. We have a community here that is constantly being funny. I don't know. Who watched Joe's? This is silly that I sat and enjoyed this as much, but I really enjoyed today. I sat there and watched an Instagram live with him and his daughter. For like 3 hours.
Driving.
That's why I wrote on the thing, "Get in the chopper." I just wanted to see her read it real quick. I mean, she probably had no idea what movie that was from. I don't even know if you guys do, but it was just fun watching her say it.
I know it was, but I had so much fun watching that. My favorite point of that whole was when he had to talk about it. The lady asked about his wife and how she broke her feet, and he had to like come up with a lie on the fly. I died.
Well, then Sammy Cakes, she's sitting next to me watching the whole thing, and she's like, "Daddy, write what I'm about to say." And she's like, "Sammy Cakes and Bella take over the beard world," and send that. And I was like, all right. It's not really my channel, guys. Like, this isn't my page. It's not my channel. It's all hers. I'm just the face of the corporation, which she probably could have picked a lot better, but this is what she's got.
You're just filling in right now.
You're doing the work.
You're doing the supplies.
I mean, you're doing more work than that one guy. What's his name?
I don't know. He's some guy that shows up every now and then. He just sits in the video nodding his head.
That other guy.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I think what's so funny about it is that I enjoy things like that, and it's the little things like that just as a community that I think everybody in this group was on that at some point. I don't know if Mech, did you get on? Maybe you were busy.
Dude, it was a crazy day at work. It's been Monday all week at work.
Oh, I can't even imagine. So how is that so has everybody been like, I'm worried about my car, I'm going to have to flee, and this is going to be the end times, or?
I mean, the cars are always going to break. People need their cars, so not
too bad. But it's been a Monday, but there wasn't like an extra rush of people flocking and thinking that they get to get their last minute effort into fixing their car.
No. I mean, if anything, I think business will probably go down a little bit, but yeah, I'm not really too concerned with that part of the industry.
Now that's a question for me. So I have the ability to work from home. I'm an IT engineer. I don't have a worry about that, but I know me and Joe, you've talked about that. Chad, you have a hands-on job, technical job where you have to see a car. There isn't like a diagnostic from afar away. How does that affect you if they do close down businesses and things like that?
If I lose my side gig, basically this channel's gone for a while because I'm not going to be able to pay my phone bill. So there goes that.
Gotcha.
I feel like if they shut down, the shop, or it's a dealership really, I feel like, I mean, I can do enough. I'll just do side work. I do a lot of side work the way it is, and I actually make a lot more money doing side work as opposed to going to my everyday desk job.
He also does modeling of laptop cases and such like that. If you haven't seen his work yet, he'll stand outside of his house with the case and he'll flash it for you.
See, this is where I wish that I lived closer to you guys, because I am always in need of a good mechanic. And I have, I don't know anything about cars. I am so bad with cars that I'm just like, yeah, it seems broken. And then, I feel like if you go to some place, they're not going to, I'm like, hey, I'm at the mercy of you saying that my brake fluid or my, what is it? Washer fluid is out.
The blank fluid. No.
Yeah. My washer fluid is gone.
My dad was a mechanic for 40 years. He'd describe you like this. You're one of those customers, and Mick will get this, that walks in and you're like, hey, so when I turn it on, it kind of does this wee.
That is so me. It's unfunny.
And when I turn the wheel, it's kind of like ee.
Sometimes you don't even get that.
It makes this noise when it does this. And so I've been sitting here, and my wife is like, who did I marry? Uh-oh, grandkids coming in. What's up, buddy? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you want. Yeah, hang on one second, guys.
Usually for your blinkers, there's like this big tub. I've only ever had old cars, but in my cars, there was this big giant tub right in the middle of my car, and it was always empty. That's how I knew where my blinker fluid went. That's
what I heard, that the blinker fluid was always, I was like, what is it?
I'm still calling it blinker fluid. I'm going to keep going with this till he corrects it.
No, I knew what it was.
Okay.
But that's exactly, I am really that bad. So my dad said, you're a good IT tech, Andy. Focus on that. You just let somebody else handle the cars. And I'm like, I just want to go to, actually, I'm thinking about actually going to at least take a class at the community college just to learn how to change my oil. I feel like I'm at the mercy. I have no idea.
Having basic knowledge of things isn't a bad thing. Listen, like I said, my dad was a mechanic for 40 years. You'd think I'd be able to pop a hood and, take a car apart and all that. He kept me as far away from cars as he could. But once I started driving, I went to him and I was like, listen, you got to at least show me the basics. I'm not saying you got to let me he didn't want me to become a mechanic. He was so against it. It was unbelievable. But I was like, you got to at least let me know the basics. That way I'm not coming to you every 5 minutes like, hey, the car's going, wee. I don't know what to do.
Right. Yeah.
Man, talking about cars, man. My dad, he had more cars than he had women. Seriously, it was unreal. My dad would just trade cars. As soon as he got tired of a car, he would just trade it straight up for another car and get a different one. It's crazy.
I tell you what, the cars are kind of getting frustrating, especially the newer ones.
Oh yeah.
All the computers, you have to have. Yeah. I've got 2 computers that are worth $6,000 to be able to do diagnosing on vehicles, and it's
my father before he passed away and stuff, and before he stopped working, said that he saw the change in industry coming because, as he put it, he had 40 years of experience running shops, managing them, all this other stuff, and now when he went to bigger shops and stuff and talked to them about a job or something, they were more interested in the 20-year-olds coming out of college because they knew how to work the computers and all the other stuff to do the things with the newer cars now.
Yeah. Well, I kind of grew from the old stuff into the new stuff, so I've kind of meshed in both. So it's kind of worked out well.
Oh, that's cool, man. I'm glad that you I see now. That's why, Chad. I wish you lived like a zebra, at least close enough to where I could just be like, hey, can you come over to my house? And it's doing this thing where
here it comes.
So here's my thing is I'm like, there's things wrong with it, and I don't know what's wrong with it. I go, hey, this guy told me that this is wrong, and then I'm like, it's $380 for that thing, whatever that is, that's broken. So my wife goes, hey, what, you went down there? And I said, yeah, they said it just cost $380. Here's some invoice.
My dad had a guy come to his shop and said to him, this is literally what he said to my dad. He told my dad that when he drove the car, right, that the car would keep doing this. Beck, look, right? He was like, the car keeps doing this to me. He's like, I keep bouncing, right? He's like, every time I go down these roads, I'm bouncing up and down. So, of course, my dad's like, well, if that's the case, if he's driving and it's just doing that period, it's got to be a suspension or something, right? So my dad takes the car down the road. Doesn't happen, right? Doesn't happen. He's like, I don't see any problems here, dude. I don't want to replace things for you if nothing's wrong. And he's like, you don't understand, man. I go down this road and the car just keeps doing this and this and this. And my dad's like, yeah, well, what are you talking about? He's like, I hit those little bumps in the road and my car keeps jumping. And my dad's like, you mean speed bumps? Yeah, your car's supposed to do that when you go over them, guy. Like, that's not a problem. Your car's supposed to do that.
Oh, no.
That's funny.
So you're not that bad. Trust me.
Yeah, I didn't go there. So that's crazy. That's so crazy. I've spent so much time wanting to learn a little bit more, but I'll tell you that the thing that's really got me hopping lately, so this is my new hobby, is all this videography stuff.
Yeah.
That's a whole, I will be honest with you as a reviewer, that thank goodness I have community members that know what the hell they're doing. Because like I have talked to at least 5 or 6 people, and specifically Casey, Dave, and Tyson. Amazing amounts of knowledge of what to get, because I was looking on YouTube and all the stuff for doing reviews, like lighting, things like that, are thousands of dollars if you go buy the equipment that these high-end YouTube reviewers do. $1,000. $1,000
I can't
for
even
a light.
afford the stuff that the low-end YouTube guys do. Like,
I know. So that's what I was like, Tyson, what should I get? I mean, I got a new camera that I really, really like, and I played with it. I saw that my last video was really light. It was too dark, video-wise. So I'm like, what do I do? I mean, and they gave me suggestions, but thank goodness we have guys in the community that have suggestions for being able to help us out when we're going through stuff like that. Cause I'm like,
be good, Joe.
See you, Joe.
Joe out of here. Barbado Joe.
Yep.
Yeah. You probably
See you, Joe.
Have a good night, brother. Thanks for, hanging with us all night. Thank you to everyone, man. Every week we do this. So you guys noticing we're getting a little more and a little more a little more in the chat. And think about this right now, guys. I know there's only like 14 here right now, but Dan C is also live right now, and we still have 14 people in here. That's pretty good.
Yes, thank you guys.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what I really like. I like the fact that we're together as brothers in this reviewers table. I think that we bring value. Each one of us brings a different value point, and I appreciate that.
Beard strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's awesome too, because like I know what you're talking about, like for the lower end side of like microphones and stuff like that. The microphone that I have is ancient, but it's made by the same people that make the same microphone that Dan C used, which is the Snowball. I had the Snowflake, which is it's like legit like that big, and it's just a tiny little one, and it's like 20 years old, and anything still works great. But that company makes such amazing stuff. The blue
The Blue Company, right?
Yeah,
and they make the Yeti
any
too.
blue, any blue microphones, even if it's the cheapest one, it's still awesome.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's good
what you see in my videos is what you get. I don't have a special lighting stuff. I mean, I do have this ring light here, and that's only because Dave sent it to me. I don't have soundproofing. I don't have a microphone. I don't have any of that stuff, really, man. This is what I got, and this is really the best I can do for now. You know, maybe down the road I can start, buying one little thing here and one little thing there and eventually getting better at it. But this is the best I can do with all this, and I hope it continues to be enough for people to watch.
I mainly record off of my phone, though. That's what I use. It's just my phone. But the thing that I have a problem with, I don't know about these two, because on top as well, they wear glasses. Like, you see my glasses?
Yeah.
I don't have the reflective lenses.
Why are you banging like that?
Because I bang.
I don't know.
So take it.
So our good friend Jerry said that he likes our review because he can actually talk on to us. I appreciate that too.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry. That means a lot.
I'm supposed to scare people.
Yeah.
I'm your father.
You scaring it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
I'll tell you, that's the one thing that I will say. Dan's big.
My friend is like almost the same height as my dad.
Sammy's in here.
And he's scared her.
So do you guys have issues with like the glare off of your lenses? Does that bother you, but not really all that bad?
I've been looking at to see how it looks in the quality, right? Yeah. Guy in the back.
Still having nightmares from the guy. Oh my God, I'm telling you. Have you guys done it yet? Has anybody gone back and watched my old videos? I've left them up for a reason, as a reminder to me of what never to do again.
What did you do? What did you do?
Michael Myers?
So the first video, Michael's still there. He's right there. No. The first videos we ever made, we did them in my brother's room in the attic, my other brother, because I thought, it's the attic and I can get away from everything, and there won't be a bunch of sound coming in the room and stuff. But him and his friends wouldn't leave the room. They just sat in there. And one of his friends sat behind me with sunglasses on, just not moving for the entire video. He just sat there. And then like my younger brother was like, I'm explaining what beard oil is. And then he's like, so it's like gel for your beard? And I'm like, no, I just explained that it wasn't that. And he's like, yeah, but it's like gel. And I'm like, no, dude, I just said that it wasn't. Get out of my video.
That's funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. How long have you guys been doing this? So I've been doing this. I think seriously, being a reviewer has been 4 or 5 months, but how long have you guys been doing how long have you guys given it in the community? And then how long have you guys been doing reviews?
Probably like 6 to 8 months, roughly, something like that.
I'm around about the same with you, Prac. 6 months and like 5 months with reviews.
Cool.
Okay, so we got started end of May, so we will be approaching our 1 year soon.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, how long have you been doing the beard product or the using beard products?
Around about 2 years.
I've been using product for about a year, so
Around about 2 years. Although, again, it really was, I have to give all credit to BeardTube and Scuba for opening my eyes to the much bigger community that was out there, because for the longest time, I thought that Badass Beard Care, Boss Man, Wild Willies, Honest Amish, like I thought that was pretty much it for the longest. And then I found Scuba while I was laying in a hospital bed, bored out of my mind, and he was reviewing, I think he was reviewing Artiest Man, actually. And it just opened my world to a whole nother place, and now look where I am. Spending all the money I have on beard products.
That's awesome, though.
Jerry, the chair is really good. I'm liking it a whole lot. Thanks for asking.
So did you get a chair too? Did you get a chair too?
Yeah, the chair I'm sitting in now is the one
You guys
that
want to
got
see
me.
mine? Here, I'll get out of the chair so you can see it real quick.
Nice.
Look at that monster. That chair is bigger than me.
Yeah, that's nice, guys. Did they both come from Mr. Jolly Old Fat Man?
His did. Mine came from Tyson.
Oh, Tyson's awesome. Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I can show you or not, but this one has the footrest and everything down there.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see, but yeah, makes it a lot easier, and it like reclines. That way,
Bam.
you know, I'm not
sorry.
actually sitting up while I'm doing the reviews and the videos and stuff like this.
Bam. Take it easy, brother. Have a great night. And keep in touch, brother. Okay, please. I know you're shutting it down for a month and all, but keep in touch so we all know you're okay.
Yeah, for sure. Bam's a hell of a guy, guys.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, listen.
Hell of a guy.
This chair that he sent me is the first. I've been sleeping in chairs now for roughly the better part of about 7 to 8 years. And throughout that time, I've gone through probably about 10 to 12 chairs, okay, because they're just not built to be slept on. That's just the reality. They're not built to be slept on every single night, at least. And I do. This chair is basically a bed that folds into a chair.
Nice.
That's basically what this thing is.
See, and that's exactly what you needed. Is that? And I think that you're having the same experience. That that's just community right there. That's community right there, guys. That's awesome.
Sure.
That's just
Yeah,
awesome.
and the message from Bam was great too, because he was messaging me during that stream, sending me pictures of chairs and stuff, and I'm like, dude, you don't have to get me, like, stop, I'm good, you don't have to do it, you don't have. And then he responds and he's like, Joe, I have your address already. I don't need you to pick one. So you can either pick one or I can just send something. Your call.
Yeah, generosity. That's what I think. The first time that I saw our community was in generosity mode was when Chesapeake Aria. There's that little girl that has cancer who's at Phoenix Children's Hospital.
French Crush.
Yeah, French Crush. That was the first time that I had been experienced, and I was just overwhelmed by the amount of generosity. Those things sold out within an hour. He had 40 of them he made, sold out in an hour. Just amazing amount of community that has surrounded us. And it's just amazing to me that there's this group of guys that the only thing that they really have in common is beards. But we gel as a community. It's awesome.
So should we like move things to an even higher note now? Like, anybody get any beard mail in today?
You know what? I have. I know you have. I have not, because I have been like, my wife made me buy a bunch of stuff for the beard, for this coronavirus thing.
I got beard mail in, but the bottle was broke. Busted.
I got beard mail in. I got one I was really looking forward to, and I don't know if the rest of the community has gotten on it yet, but
oh yeah, look at that.
Or as Sammy Cakes would call them, broke butt.
Broke butt.
And look, I'm going to give you guys a look at this butter real quick.
Holy moly, that's some good stuff.
That looks nice.
Is that spongy?
Look at that.
Is that spongy or is that whip? That's a good consistency.
It's almost like a spongy whipped. Like, it's a very nice consistency. Really, it is.
Yeah, so that reminds me of Texas stuff.
Rob, have a good night, brother.
Later, Rob.
Thank you for joining us all night, man. I know we're running late here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. But Texas stuff have you guys tried the Homologist? So Homologist has that butter. It's spongy. I would say it was more spongy. I like it a lot.
No, from Tex, the butters I have from Tex, Tex, by the way, was very instrumental in the changes I've made to my channel, because he emailed me and told me I sucked.
He's honest.
In a very honest way, and that helped me quite a bit. So what I have from Tex is the Snowbuck butter.
Oh my word, yes.
Okay.
That's nice looking too. What is is that when you started going into the whipped or into?
No, this is more of it's kind of like a cross between a whipped, and I wouldn't call it a full whip, that's for sure, because it's not ultra light like you would see in a lot of the whipped butters. And then I have the Ghost Buck, which is one of my favorite things. It's actually easily my favorite thing he's ever done is the Ghost Buck.
Right.
I love the Ghost Buck.
So I think that he's taken his game up, and Tex brings that up. So the Awaken that he gave me, you guys got to buy it. I'm not kidding. This is it is using rose clay. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm usually just like, hey, that's a really good smell. This stuff is good. Very, very good. I think it's like, to me, it's like the top of his line. But Ghost Buck Ghost Buck, Snow Buck, those are and those are not like I don't know if he's taken it off a cologne or something, but they are cologne-y, and I just absolutely love them.
I got some of the new, the Miner's new butter into Practitioner. That new butter is, oh my God, that is amazing.
The new butter is
amazing stuff.
And you know what? It's so light, but you don't need much, and that's the one thing that I always.
It's a full body, but it's light. It's got the body, but it's light at the same time. It was just, oh my God, it's amazing.
Right.
Speaking of miners, while you brought them up, look.
Nice.
There you go. Yeah, buddy.
It's about time. That's all I can say.
That is so good. That is.
Thank you to Joey Beard and Hookem.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, so nice, dude. So nice.
So I'm looking at Tex's thing about whip butters are whipped fully with a spoon. Well, interesting.
Y'all tried Broke at Douglas, man. Where were you like 2 minutes ago? We just talked about Broke as butters.
Yeah. So yeah.
See, we just talked about it. I'm the only one who's gotten it so far. I'll let you know. Not tonight. I'll let you know tomorrow what I think.
Yeah.
So this is the interesting thing about Broke, and that's what me and that we were talking a little bit about, the fact that where are they going to there's no money in this for $12. It was $12 for that butter, and Texas is reasonable as well. Very reasonable prices. And it's quality stuff, guys. If you guys don't know what Barn Brand Beards is, check them out. He is
hashtag Big Tex for president.
Yeah, his stuff is really, really good, and it's diverse. He has a diverse brand of products. I mean, you can go from his liquid butter to his other butters. He has poured butters that he had originally. I love Cantaloupe and Smoke. Absolutely amazing.
Put Jeff Wright's comment up because that's a smart man. Jeff Wright.
Yeah.
He's a smart man.
Still using my Queens of the Jester. That's nice.
I use
very
it
nice.
little.
Don't you not? So isn't that the truth? So that is the total truth, that when you get a special product that you're like, I don't want to use it because it's too cool.
Too cool. Too cool.
Yes, Sam. Oh, yeah.
Are you on TV?
Yeah.
Hey.
Huh? Cousin. Oh, I haven't even had a slice yet. I've been doing this. Yeah.
Is that your ma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, one of Tex's products falls in that category for me. And that's the Ghost Buck. I love Ghost Buck so much that I very, very sparingly use it because I just don't want to run out of it and not have the means to get it back right away.
I know.
Right.
It's so good. It's so good. I'm going to brag about it because I was part of it, but the Awaken is totally a different, I think it's just right in that same class of just really, really awesome cologne scents. And
I'm sorry. Why is Ryan in the chat and not in here with us?
I think he just has stuff going on. He has life going on.
He has a crappy connection, like where he's at. And sometimes he works as well.
I'm sorry. I miss Ryan. I miss the weird little Ryan comments out of nowhere. I miss the the little comments that go way off into left field out of nowhere. Like, what is it?
Do you know what I like about Ryan is the fact that he is one of those people that got me into talking to you guys.
I do need the Ghost Buck Ood Wash. That's a good idea, Tex. Thanks for telling me where to spend my money.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I was gonna say Ryan was like one of the first people I've ever met on here, and then it just transpired from there. I didn't come into the community from Dan C or the bigger YouTubers and nothing like that. I was just on Instagram, and then I just started talking to Ryan, and it just transpired from there. And then I was like, I followed a bearded person or a bearded person from me, and it just built from there. And then I seen Barbado Joe had live stream, so I watched his live stream, and just everything grew from there. It was crazy.
The rest was history.
Yeah.
So that's did the rest of you guys go in through Dan's YouTube like that? That's how you like found some products, then all suddenly you went through Scuba. That's right.
Yep.
I did Dan C. Yep.
Yeah, so I was Dan. So Dan was like, and then I remember binge watching his older stuff because it was probably March or April of like last year, and then I found his videos, and then I just binge watched them because I was like, okay, now that
I'm sorry, Prek, I have to ask because I'm starting to go a little because I haven't eaten yet. When do you think we'll be wrapping up exactly?
Got 5 minutes. How about 5 minutes? Is that cool?
Well, no, I'm only asking because if we're going to be on for like another half hour, I'm going to make my pizza real quick.
Go get some pizza.
Okay, I'll be back.
We'll be on as long as anybody wants to talk to us. We got 15 people.
Then I'll be back. I'm going to go heat up my pizza real quick.
Yeah, grab some pizza, man. Go grab some pizza.
Ryan says Scuba is where he got started.
Scuba is, he was the second. So have you guys ever just YouTube? So here's Andy's thing. He Googles things. So I Googled beard. And so then I popped into Dan, and then I saw Scuba and who else? It was who you just mentioned. Yeah. So it's Scuba. Then it was, who's another? Oh no, it was, Scott.
Beard Times with
Scott. Yeah. And so it was Scuba, and then I saw who else was out there. I mean, it was just a few people. Joe was in there, and Joe was doing stuff with Jester and a few other guys. Javier on the mic, I think, was one of the guys that was in his little group. Did you guys remember that at all?
No, but I've heard about it. Was that the round table that was going on?
Yeah, that's why I chose Reviewers Table. I was like, I'm really good friends with Joe, so I was like, let's keep that kind of same theme. I liked it because it's kind of like everybody has a point, Yeah,
Joe's an awesome dude too.
Joe is. He has been my friend probably other than Dan. Dan from day one is one of those people, and I don't, I know that people love Dan, but I really think he's an awesome guy. He will answer every single DM that you possibly could get. He's genuinely, he will, and he still texts me a couple of weeks ago saying, "Hey, did you see this?" And you're like, "Oh, well, that just changed my perspective on what I was going to do with that review."
Take it easy, Jeff.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Jeff. Yeah, we'll wrap it up here in a bit because it's getting late. What time is it down there? Is it midnight? Uh-oh. What's up, man? Hang on one second, guys. I got a little... Come here. What's up? You want to go potty? Mom. Oh, Mom's giving me we might just be on for another 2 or 3 minutes because Mom's giving us the heave-ho.
Mom, come.
You know what that means.
Is she not? Yeah, let me go see what's going on because I don't know if maybe Grandma went to the hospital. Grandma may have gone to the casino. I'm looking at. Hang on one second, guys.
Come.
Is Grandma here?
Yes.
What are you in here for?
Sorry.
Oh, there is no Grandma. Hey there. Mom. Yeah, you can say hi.
Everybody, I said hi.
You can come and say hi.
Oh, go. Oh, here's all my stuff.
Here, you can say hi. Yeah, speak into here.
Hello.
Hi.
You can speak into here, buddy.
What's up, Caden?
Nothing much. I was just playing with my friends.
He plays Fortnite all night.
Fortnite.
Not all night. I watch TV too.
Yeah, he watches TV, meaning that he either watches YouTube or
you watch TV with you. So
or sometimes he watches a movie.
You can play Fortnite.
Cool. Okay, buddy, you okay?
Yeah, I was just gonna or I'll tell you after. Well, see you guys. It was nice meeting you.
Bye. Nice meeting you.
See you,
Nice meeting
Caden.
you. Peace.
Hey, see you, buddy.
See ya.
All right. No, my wife is. Where is my wife? That's a good question. So I was thinking that maybe
She's missing?
she went to the casino. She won't tell me this stuff, but she's like, she texted me a little bit ago. Oh, no kids class. Oh, so this is an interesting thing. So just to let you guys know, how is this affecting me personally? I teach a kids class, kids meditation class, and they've actually canceled it until further notice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's another thing too that I just thought about too is money. Speaking of casinos, the money and stuff, because money is like one of the dirtiest things out there.
Oh yeah. If you think about how many people are actually touching money, you're right. Absolutely. I never think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and kids put it in their mouth, the chains in their mouth and the diapers, and and you already know what happens out in Vegas. Besides the
right, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, and spreads everywhere else.
Absolutely. I love Vegas, man. I'll tell you that. But it is a dirty place. I can only handle. I'm a 3-day Vegas kid. I can only be at Vegas for 3 days before I go. I can't handle Vegas anymore.
See, my pizza sat there for a little while. Like Sam went and ate, and then I just kind of sat there, and all of a sudden, I kept hearing people like, "Oh, that pizza was pretty good," and I'm like, "Man, everybody's eating my pizza before I get to it."
I feel like that all the time with kids, because you're like, "Oh, you guys go ahead and eat. I got to eat last because I'm the dad." But man, I'll tell you, there's times where you're like, I want to eat first. I want to have some pizza when it's hot, not cold.
Joe,
dude, man,
did you bring enough for the whole class?
Did I bring enough for the whole? Yeah, man, absolutely.
Just shove it onto the mic there or something.
Text
Yeah. Here, man.
Or mail it to me. It'll never get here.
Oh,
You know what? I'll mail it to you, but I don't promise how much I'm going to mail you. Okay.
He wants toilet paper in for exchange.
All right, I'll give you a slice for a slice.
So Ryan
Right.
brings up the fact that Vegas is just like a shot away from us. So it's only like a 3 or 4 hour drive. So we love.
Oh wow!
Vegas is so. Have you guys been to Vegas? Just
Nope.
No,
it is one of the. It's a crazy, crazy place. It is one of those places that I love to go to because it's just that nuts. It's just I know. I always thought that New York City may be a equivalent, where it's just a big place full of a lot of adults doing a lot of crazy stuff all of the time.
Right.
We got Atlantic City over here. That's the closest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Our version of Vegas.
Oh, is that Atlantic City?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Okay.
I went to Atlantic City once when I was a kid, and they had a boardwalk, and that's the only thing I remember about it.
No, they got the casinos and everything. Though there ain't as many as there once was, but there still are.
Yeah.
Tex said that he finished up his new banana bum beer soaps yesterday.
Oh, that's cool. Where is his post?
It's up a little bit.
I'm seeing on camera, emotion in his ears, but I'm sorry, guys. This is my dinner.
No worries, man. You got to
And
eat.
it's 11 o'clock at night over here, and I'm just eating.
I was thinking that that's awfully late, but we started the stream at 9. Well, you said the pizza guy was late.
Dude, I ordered the pizza at 6:45. It didn't get it until 9 o'clock.
Holy moly.
It was insanity. And I'm sitting there the whole time. I'm like, all right, I got an hour for the pizza to get here, an hour to eat, and still make the stream, right? And I'm like, okay, it's 7. I still got time. 8. Oh, I still got time. 8:30. Where the hell's the pizza? And then I was like, it's going to get here as soon as I put the microphone to my ear. And that's what happened. I just sat down with you guys, and my daughter yelled up the stairs that the pizza was here. I was like, of course.
Is that everybody's pre-lockdown meal is freaking pizza?
I love pizza.
It's Friday. It's Friday, and I live in Jersey. We eat pizza, all right?
That's true.
Pizza. What's your pizza? What's your pizza of choice? Do you guys have, is it the thin crust down in your area?
Nope, we just got normal New York style pizza over here, I guess. And for me, though, best pizza on the planet you're going to get is extra cheese and mushrooms. Nothing beats it.
That does sound good.
I can't have any normal pizza anymore, so the only pizza that I can actually have is like chicken bacon ranch because it doesn't have actual pizza sauce on it.
Oh, interesting.
Or white pie.
Or that white sauce. I don't particularly like that white sauce either.
The Alfredo sauce kind of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a foodie, guys. I eat pretty much anything. I eat sushi. I eat, any random things that people would, but I'm a foodie. I'm a hotel restaurant management major. So I was a big into restaurants. So I just love food. My wife
love food.
Yeah.
Food was put here for us to eat it.
Yeah.
And lots of it.
That's that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. So, guys, I think we did a good job tonight. I think that I know you just got some pizza there, Joe, but I just realized that my wife's not home yet, which is really weird. So I have to go in a bit here, take care of my grandson who's been sitting out there patiently. That's crazy. He's just been sitting out there patiently. I mean, we have kids in the house, so it's not just me, but he's so I don't know if you guys know, but my grandson has Down syndrome. So but he's been just chilling. He's came in once, and I was like, that's amazing. But he's got my sons out there with him, so it's no big deal.
So I just want to say then, for none of you beardos who noticed it, then Tex just admitted. I mean, not Tex. I'm sorry. Andy just admitted to ignoring his kids and such to entertain you guys.
I did. I thought my wife is always home at like 6. So I was like, man, no big deal. She's out there, and she won't come in here because she's like, I don't want to get, she doesn't want to come in. And my son's here. I have like 2 grown sons out here, so it's not a big deal. But the fact that he was just sitting there patiently, didn't say much. Usually he'd be like, where's mama? Where's grandma?
Please, man. Well, my mom just came in when I went down to get the pizza. She's like, if I'd have known you were on TV, I wouldn't have just walked in like that. I'm like, who says that I'm on TV? I'm on YouTube, first of all. And she's like, can YouTube go on a TV? Yes, it can. Okay.
Have you guys ever watched yourselves on the big screen? It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It is. It's weird.
Very weird. That's different.
Yeah, very different. I don't do that. I just I'll edit it, and then I won't. Actually, I'll be honest with you. Do you guys actually look at your videos after you're done? After I make them, I don't look at them again.
After I'm done editing and all that, I never look at it again.
Just post it and be done.
Yeah, I've spent enough time here. Moving on.
You'll just critique the whole video, and you'll be like, oh, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. I would delete it. I would delete like every video if I sat there and did that.
Yeah, the more I watch my own video, the more I find things I don't like. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, okay, so after all my editing and taking that out, there's about 30 seconds left of the video. Okay.
Right.
That's going to be an interesting review. We are the Bearded Brothers. It's good. Have a nice night.
So I think that I actually took for a few moments one of my older videos down because I got like 2 views, and I was like,
have a good night, Tex.
Yeah, see ya, buddy. Thank you very much for coming in.
Didn't Bam already leave?
Bam did, and came back.
He came back. He said he couldn't sleep.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. But I will tell you that it's crazy to watch your own videos, and then the fact that they're there forever. Like you have videos, like you were saying, like the videos with some strange guy in the background.
Yep.
You know, I'm gonna have to go see that. I'm gonna have to go look at your early videos to see some strange.
Dude, I encourage. Listen, for I'm sorry. For everyone who has said things like, "Oh, your videos are, they're not filmed all that well," and listen, to see where I have come, go back and watch my original videos and progress through all the older ones till now. Okay, I've come a very long way. I will admit I'm not on like Dan C's level, and Scuba's nuts, dude. The dude's a videographer. This is what he does.
Yeah.
So his video quality is insane. And then you got Dave, that beard guy, Casey, his
amazing.
level is insane too. Like, I know I can't do that stuff, but I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
Yeah, that's all you can do. And you know what, to be honest with you, I have a little bit of equipment, but you sound really great, to be honest with you, Joe. I've never had an issue. I enjoy the content. I enjoy your personality. So I think that I see past a lot of maybe what you would say, hey, I'm critiquing my video quality. I think that you have to have some good quality. Your sound is good though. I can hear you just fine.
That's because I'm loud.
Yeah. Well, that's good. But your sound quality is good. And then I think that your videos have good content. And I think the content makes a huge difference when you're making a good video.
Well, when I really decided I was going to do this and I was going to give it a real run. And again, at one point I told people we had 54 people on our Instagram page and 0 on our YouTube. And there's been a few videos out and stuff like that. And now we're up to 1,100 on Instagram and 220 something on YouTube. So we've come a long way here. But once I made that decision, I was like, I'm not going to be able to do what these guys do on a video level because I just don't have the money to put into this to compete on that level. So all I can do is just be me and let my personality shine through and get as much content in as I can.
That's what I like about it, is that this is about dedication, love, and passion for what you're doing. I think I think you guys have a really great. I like Beard Mana quite a bit.
I was recording with a potato. What?
What?
You were recording with a potato in your earlier videos, Joe. What was the potato? Who was the potato? Was Nick the potato? Nick's still there though. He can't be Nick then. What was the potato? Or just how bad the quality was? Is that what he's saying?
I don't know. With the potato,
Maybe.
I wonder if that was the potato. Was the guy in the background? Maybe that was it.
Maybe, I don't know, dude. Like I said, there's a whole lot wrong with our older videos. I promise you. There's not one thing. There's a lot wrong with them.
But you know what, though? This is the one thing, is that you recognize it, but you put it out there. And as a reviewer, putting content out is so key. It does have to be good, somewhat, and you have to try your best. But just putting content, if you talk to any of bigger YouTube
quality
guys,
okay, you're talking about the quality of the video. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's okay.
Consistency.
Yep, consistency is the other thing. Do you guys follow any of the YouTube schools like Sean Canal? Who's the other? There's a couple other guys that are on there that are the big YouTube guys that they're about the photography and videography. Sean Canal is the guy I really like from Think Media.
Yep.
No, they hurt my feelings because they basically tell me I suck all the time.
Do they really?
They're like, this is how you make a good video. And I'm like, I don't do any of that because I don't have any of that. So then my videos suck. Got it. Okay.
I think that they have some stuff where it's like stuff on your iPhone. So, but the one thing that I really got from all of those guys, especially Sean, was produce content. That's the one thing as a reviewer. Just keep producing content and trying to level up every time you can.
Listen, when you first start, this is what I tell anyone who wants to review. Don't try and be Dan C your first time out of the box. Don't try and be Scuba. Don't try. Put something out. Do your best with it, whatever you think your best is, and put it out. And then be open to constructive criticism. Our first few videos got all the knocks in the world. Okay, but in there were also some good comments too. So I knew, okay, something's right here, but there's a lot wrong. So I got to dial it in now, find out what works, get rid of what doesn't work, and start piecing this together the right way. So be open to criticism. Some of it will be constructive, a lot of it will be pointless, but go open to it, accept it, and learn from it.
Do you know who I would like to hear is the one person? There is just one person, and I don't know if you guys have this. I have one person that doesn't like my videos, almost every video, and I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is, and he won't come out and I just want him to say, hey, your stuff's junk, or I don't like this. I think this is parts, or maybe I just pissed him off in some way at some former life. You know? Every
video I put out, the second I put it out, there's one dislike on it.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Always. I think it's a company I made angry, and because they've been so nasty to me, I will actually say this company's name and now, and I don't care anymore. Pirate's Secret. I don't know if you guys ever heard of them before.
No.
So they're supposedly their oil is based off of an ancient pirate recipe. Okay. And it's like a magical elixir, if you will, and it actually cures ailments and has healing properties and things like that. But when I used it, it didn't feel great in beard. I didn't like the scent, and it almost irritated me a little bit, right? Now, I didn't kill them. Okay, we still had our scale like we do today. And out of 5, I gave them a 3. I said, look, there's good ingredients here. There's good this, there's good that. And then I went down what I didn't like. And they have just ever since then, they have not stopped. Every day I get a message from them complaining that they want me to take the review down. I'm not taking it down.
So did Jack come by and he sold you some guy was like selling you some magic beans, and that's what this guy was trying to sell you? Here's some beard oil that it'll grow a big, huge
Dude, he told me it cures foot fungus. Why you would be spraying your beard oil on your foot, I'll never know, but
it sounds like one of them people like in a traveling carny that sell them magic tonics.
Snake oil, yep.
Yeah.
That's a crazy. That's a crazy story. That I think the best part about that is the crazy story. Like, and it's gonna fix all of your ailments. It'll bring, it's like country songs if you play them backwards or something.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know about you guys, but it's 11 o'clock here.
Yeah, I'm out of here, guys. My grandson is like, I gotta figure out where my wife is. Actually, that'd be a good thing. But but that'd be nice if I
She's
figured
been
out where
missing
she
for
was
like 3 hours. She's just concerned now.
She said, I thought she was out there the entire time. I kid you not. I'm like, where is she? And then he's like, hey, and I'm like, I go out there. There's no mom. I'm like, where's grandma? So I'll see you guys in a bit, or I'll see you guys next week or a couple weeks. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Later, guys.
Take it easy, guys.
Have a good night, y'all.
Yep. Stay bearded.